What's up everyone, Dessa here. So as most of you are probably aware by now, a new mod has released for Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, which is the so-called Kingdom Hearts 1 Randomizer. In this randomizer, all kinds of stuff is, well, getting randomized, chests are randomized, some rewards are randomized, things are changed, you can buy equipment you were never able to buy before, you get weapons in all kinds of different places, just as you would expect from a randomizer. In this video, I'm going to help you with the setup. I'm going to show you what you need to download and other things you might find necessary, how to set it up, as well as a few miscellaneous things you might want to look out for if you play the randomizer. So at the very beginning, you want to go into the description of this video and click on all the links that I have there. The links are a Discord link for the official Kingdom Hearts Final Mix Randomizer Discord, which is this one. It'll send you to the rules section. Please read them. It's not a lot, and it's really not that much to go through. It's pretty easy to keep those up, and it takes like what, a minute, maybe two at best. After reading those rules carefully, you want to go to the resources tab, or just click on the links in the description, which will lead you to both the randomizer and the LuaBackend exe that you will need to run the scripts of the randomizer and a few other necessary things. You want to click on both of those links, which will open up the GitHub page from denhonator's randomizer, as well as the LuaBackend that you will need. First, you want to go to the randomizer page. There's also a little tutorial on how to set it up right here, but I'm gonna cover pretty much all of it in this video here. You want to click on this green button, code, and download zip if it's the first time you download it, because that way you will download all the things that are in here and you will not really have to do much else. One thing you want to look out for though, if you want to only download the new randomizer, you want to go to 1FM mods, to scripts, and you'll have all kinds of scripts in here. The script you're looking for is the 1FM rando no logic.lua. You want to click on it and then go to raw. That'll give you basically the entirety of the code. You want to press Ctrl S to save that code and just save it somewhere where you can find it later. For example, let's save it on the desktop here. I'm going to save it as, you want to remove the .txt and just have it as 1FM rando no logic.lua. That way it'll be saved, and that's just if you want to update the randomizer only and don't care about the other things. Next thing you will need, which is also mentioned in the guide down here, is the so-called LuaBackend, because that's pretty much what makes all the magic happen. That's what makes all the mods for anything that isn't KH3 work. You want to click on this, on the most recent download, which is in this case 0.67, and just click on it, download it, and you'll have it right away. Okay, so next thing you want to do is you want to go to your downloads folder or wherever those things landed for you. I got my LuaBackend here and the KH speedrun tools main here. Now I also downloaded the rando script, which I'm gonna drag onto the desktop as well real quick. Alright, so those are the three files necessary. You don't need anything else outside of that. You wanna unpack both of these. Preferably you wanna unpack them on your desktop and make some kind of folder for them. I'm gonna call this one LuaBackend because it'll have a few more files, therefore it will potentially get a little messy. As well as the KHPC speedrun tools main, you want to do the same thing with it. I'm just gonna call it KH1FM mods, and there's the folder. The LuaBackend is right here. Next thing you want to do is you want to open both these folders, as both of these will be necessary, and then head over to external in LuaBackend. You see the LuaBackend.exe. You want to head over to KHPC speedrun tools main and whatever you call your modding folder, and go to 1FM mods. Inside this folder there's also a readme on how to set up the LuaBackend, but all you need to do really is just drag this over here and we're done with the Lua. Now depending on what additions you want to have, you can delete some of these scripts. Personally, I like to delete auto attack, early skip, as well as faster animations, because those three in particular can mess up not just the random but the game in itself, as they're a little bit jank. They might get updated in the future, but as of right now they can be a little bit jank, so I'd be careful with this. My best bet would be to just remove them. Auto attack especially, because if you have auto attack enabled, Sora will hit frame perfectly as soon as he's in the air and targets an enemy. Now once we got this set up, we have faster dialogue, instant gummy, random no logic, save anywhere, and unskippable.lua in there. And next thing you want to do is, if you downloaded a new version of the randomizer, just drag it in, remove the old one, and rename it from .txt to just .lua. That way you have a Lua file and you'll be able to use it. If you don't see the .txt or the .lua extension, you want to go to View, and right here, click the second box. On German, it's called Dateiname-Erweiterung. It's something like file extensions on English, or whatever your respective languages. Should be the second one. Now, next thing you want to do is, because we're almost done with this, just minimize it and boot up your game. You have the game open. There's not a lot you have to do at this point. In general, I'd be careful with the game in itself. Also, if you're playing 2FM, DDD, BBS, whatever game in the future, and one of them included. If you do stuff outside of the game's window, like clicking on the files here or going to your browser or whatever, it could crash the game, so I'd be very careful and mindful about it. I wouldn't do it too often if I were you. You do have to do it once though. You want to activate LuaBackend. Activating LuaBackend will give you this console, and this console does all the magic. You open it up, and that's all you want to do. The scripts in the script folder will tell the console what to do, and the console will take care of it. Next thing you want to do is choose a difficulty. I'm just going to go with beginner to showcase a little bit more, and here you go. That's all you need to do. You're basically set up for the rando now. Anything that comes after this point now is just miscellaneous explanation for a few things, a few quirks, a few issues. So if you're just here for the setup, that's it for now, and have fun with the rando. If you want to hear a few more issues, then you can still stay. Okay, so at the very beginning, you can warp out right away, but I wouldn't recommend it. If you warp out right away, you will get a dream weapon assigned to you. You will basically start with the kingdom key, and your upgrade path will be standardized and not necessarily randomized. It'll be standardized, it'll default to something. You might, just to be safe, you instead want to go to the middle, play a little bit of the tutorial. You'll have this cutscene play here. Choose your weapons. Always go for the staff for now. As of right now, only the staff's level up paths are randomized. If you don't want to have level ups randomized in general, go for the shield or the sword. Those are still vanilla. If you want the true rando experience with randomized stats, randomized abilities, randomized level ups, then you want to go for the staff and just ditch one of the other two. It doesn't matter which one you ditch, it's just important that you choose the staff. Then you click through this tutorial as well. Once you confirm the next text box, you want to press R2, L2, L1 and select, which will pop up this menu. It'll pop up the save menu, then you go to Gummy Ship and it'll boot you out of this section. Okay, so once you're on the world map, you're free to go wherever you want. You can visit any world you want, there's no restriction to it. Except for the general restrictions the worlds give you. For example, Neverland needs a green trinity, Hollow Bastion needs a red trinity as well as fire, and Traverse Town, the second visit, needs fire as well. Beating the Hercules Cup requires beating Neverland, and so on and so forth. End of the World, as you see, is not available yet. That is because you have to finish the second visit of Hollow Bastion 2. There is some kind of progression to it, so you can't just go for the end of the world, beat the game, and be done in like half an hour if you're the god gamer. The progression that you want, it's not in any specific order, but what you have to do is you have to finish the first visit of Traverse Town, Wonderland as well as Deep Jungle, which will unlock the second visit of Traverse Town. After the second visit of Traverse Town, what you need to do is you need to finish Agrabah to get the Green Trinity, and Neverland to unlock the third visit of Traverse Town. Halloween Town and Monster and Atlantica are therefore completely optional as of right now, but that might change in a future update. Then you want to go to Traverse Town, talk to Sid, which will unlock Hollow Bastion 1. Currently there is no story happening, but once you beat Neverland and go back to Traverse Town, Hollow Bastion will activate. Followed by Hollow Bastion, you just want to go with the normal progression. You want to go back to Traverse Town, talk to Kyrie in the sewers, come back to Hollow Bastion, beat Hollow Bastion 2, and End of the World will pop up. That's when you can finally beat the game. Now, be careful. If you do end up beating Riku 2 and Hollow Bastion 1 in the first visit of Hollow Bastion, all the worlds will be upgraded, and Kurt, Zisa, and Phantom will spawn, worlds will be upgraded, its enemies will be stronger. So if there are still worlds that you want to do and you're actually not as strong as you thought you are, you might have a problem with those worlds, just as a general idea. Now, another thing is, you might be thinking, how do I get to Destiny Islands now? Well, if you head over to Traverse Town, there are going to be 2 save points. Not just the first district, but also the seashore. Clicking on the seashore will bring you right into Destiny Islands. You'll start here, and you can just do the story as normal. Very important, there are a few quirks to it. So first thing is, I cannot change my weapon. That is because getting one of the dream weapons will randomize the weapon, but it still has the same property of not being able to be exchanged. Just like the Dream Rod, Dream Sword, Dream Shield, that you cannot remove the Keyblade here either. The way to unlock being able to remove it is by meeting Riku when Destiny Islands gets attacked. However, after that meetup with Riku, where you can get a new Keyblade, you will get the Kingdom Key, and whatever you had before will be overwritten, and you'll never see it again. Because that one takes up the slot of whatever Dream Weapon you took. However, you will then be able to change your Keyblade to your heart's content. Maybe you start off with Lionheart, and you find Oblivion or Oathkeeper somewhere, maybe Ultima Weapon. That's a good time to go to Riku and say like, yo, I want to change my Keyblade. And he'll be like, okay, here you go, and you'll be able to change it. Another very important thing is that Donald's and Goofy's weapons, don't touch them. If you click on them, the game will crash. I will not showcase it because I've had it happen often enough. Don't change Donald's and Goofy's weapons in Destiny Islands. Doing that will crash it. You can change their accessories and equipment, like right here I can give them Prime Cap and Fandara Ring, but don't change their weapons, it'll straight up crash the game. One more thing, if you want to leave Destiny Islands, you can do it through the normal button combination, but if you want to leave it legitimately, you can enter the Seaside Shack, which the save point has the Gummy Ship option unlocked, and boom, you're back. Going back to the seashore will just bring you back to Destiny Island, like this. Now, if you've already entered the attack on Destiny Islands, but haven't talked to Riku yet because you wanted to preserve that for later, you will land in this area again and everything will be normal. If you go to Kairi, she will advance you again just like normally because you already collected it, so you can advance again. That way you will be able to replay it and you can go back to Riku, change your weapon. Now another thing is that you don't need to worry about too much. If you beat Traverse Town, both Wonderland and Olympus will be question mark worlds until you visit them. However, it doesn't really matter because you can still just go there. As you saw, instant gummy is enabled as well, so if I go to LuaBackend for example, I'll just be there right away. I don't have to warp there, I just go there and I'm here. Now I want to showcase LuaBackend as well because as you can see, no cutscene is playing. I'm just put here right away. I can climb my way all the way to the top and no cutscene will be playing. That is because the flags are not active, as I was talking about already. The flags only activate if you beat Neverland, followed by the next visit of Traverse Town. Until then, you're able to roam around and do whatever you want, pretty much. As you see, no cutscene, no Riku, no beast getting slaughtered, everything's fine and dandy. Once you get up here, by the way, you can change Donald's and Goofy's weapons all fine here. You cannot do that in Destiny Islands just because that area never really has them. It'll try to change it, but it won't be able to because those characters are not loaded there. Now, one important thing before you think that it's a bug, if you go here and try to hit enemies, you will not deal damage. As you can see, they don't even stagger. They don't care that I attack them. Donald and Goofy can attack them. They will be able to deal damage and they are likely gonna kill them as well. But you are not able to deal any damage because the game's story is set so Sora is not able to deal damage in this world until you beat Riku. So basically entering this world is just for exploration, not for grinding. You can grind, of course. As you see, I'm already level 3, but Donald and Goofy will have to carry you through it, and you'll just be able to watch and not die. Now, another thing, if you ever find yourself in an unescapable situation, for example, you go into a room, let's just pretend I entered the bubble, and for whatever reason, this bubble is not going to be available to me anymore. That is not true, the bubble will still be there, but let's just pretend that the bubble is not there anymore. So sometimes you enter during a cutscene, the game freaks out. What you can do is you can hold all shoulder buttons, so R1, L1, R2, L2, and press start. Doing that is like your last resort because it'll kick you out of the world right away. It doesn't matter where you are, pressing that button combination will boot you out right away. I'm gonna enter it right again. Boom. I'm out. This is like a last resort just in case you find yourself in a soft lock. And another thing I want to mention is the key items. So, for example, in Deep Jungle, you don't have to collect all the slides. I'm going to showcase it right now as well. You don't actually have to collect the slides. What you have to do is you have to collect the items that are now the new slides. Just go to the normal places where the slides already are. I'm going to quickly get defeated by Sabor. Now, I jumped into the slide. You can exit the slide minigame as normal. That's a normal thing you can do. Now, there are going to be 6 slides around here. The slides are whatever the randomizer said they are. Blizzard Arts, Marvel Volume 6, Torn Page. It likes to be a Torn Page, but Torn Pages are pretty frequent, so it makes sense. Pretty Stone. What else? Marvel Volume 3 again. Or do we get Volume 6? I don't know. Here, you get all the slides. Era Arts. Enter the tent. And you're going to be seeing a few more cutscenes, just as normal as if you normally enter that world. Now, once you're in the tent, You can, of course, open the chest, see what you get. Metal chocobo, nice. I cannot change it, as I said, because I would have to meet Rico on Destiny Islands first. That is just because, again, the dream weapon is replaced by this, and you cannot unequip the dream weapon usually. However, what I can do is I can talk to Jane. Now, I did collect items. I don't have any of the slides available, but I did collect whatever place the slides would be in normally, which means this event plays out normally. This goes for all the events that have key items assigned to them. The evidence collection in Wonderland, the emblem pieces in Hollow Bastion. You don't have to actually collect them. Same with the raft in Destiny Islands. You don't have to find them. Just getting the items that would usually be those, hitting those triggers is basically what advances you. That's how you can continue the story in the respective world. Okay, and at this point, that'll be about it. There are going to be more and more changes added to this randomizer. Right now, there are only level ups, chests, and some of the rewards randomized. There's going to be way more soon. There are probably going to be Magic and Trinity randomizers, and all kinds of different stuff as well. We are just at the beginning, pretty much. This right here just serves as a general guide, as a setup guide, as well as some miscellaneous tips that you might want to look out for, in case you can't really figure out yourself what happened, why it happened, or if you just want to play a lot safer. Just make sure that you memorize those things, and you will have a great experience of it. Okay, and all in all, that's pretty much it to the randomizer. I explained the setup, I explained the miscellaneous things, some tips and tricks here and there, some things you want to look out for to avoid crashes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you have a lot of fun with the rando, and make sure to give credit to denhonator, because he's the one who made all of this possible, as well as Topaz, who made that Lua connection possible in the first place. Take care and have a good life.